traveling as a fat person with your resident fat ass.
Hey guys, today I want to talk about something different. So it's about obesity. Yeah, like big gangster morbid obese, right? So I noticed that we live now in a society that if you're freaking skinny, especially on TikTok, there's a lot of ladies that might actually roast you for being skinny or being the right weight or the right height, BPI and all those stuff that you can calculate. But when you're morbidly obese or kinda obese or whatever, there's only positive comments. I mean, I know back in the day it was kinda gangster. People will roast you if you're fat or whatever. But now, nobody, it's like, you're not allowed to say. It's like almost being homophobic. So I found this video that seems to be interesting on TikTok, right? It's a lady that's clearly, I would say she's morbid obese. She's not gangster obese. She can still move, but I don't think she's healthy. I'm sure a doctor might have calculated something and told her something different. But some of her TikTok disapproved that because the doctor actually doesn't agree with her. But the video that went viral is one that she made a joke about a lot of companies are not accommodating people that have more weight than normal. Like they don't have the space, they need to adapt, like planes don't like have extra chairs so I can sit. They don't have these things on the side for your hand because people that too much weight, if they can't sit, they feel, oh, that's shameful. Why don't you have a bigger seat? I'm like, well, that costs a lot of money.
I'm being punked. I have to be punked. This can't be fucking real. Except that it is fucking real. Like this is not fucking drill. And I am so pissed. Like, how the fuck do airlines have the audacity? But you're also asking people to revisit trauma associated with scales. Like myself. It's demoralizing, it's dehumanizing, and it's fucking wrong.
I mean, I would be happy. It would be a lot comfortable for me. But I think you get what I'm trying to point out. But let's go to the video because she seems to have a very jolly positive character and at least I can give her that.
Welcome to our hotel's Fatphobic. With me, your host, your resident fat ass, MaryFran. Come hither. Let's take a look at the bathroom.
I mean, she's handling like a boss. I'm not gonna
As you
admit.
might see, it looks normal. Would you like to take a pee or a poop? Don't worry, you'll barely fit.
I mean,
Perhaps a shower.
I mean,
Need a towel to dry off?
you're
Don't
big.
worry, it won't fit.
She can't even
So
close the
nice.
towel.
Go outside.
Yeah. I mean, at least you could cover her boobies. I mean, I'm gonna give her that. But I think you get the idea where I'm coming from with this. I mean, companies right now, there is like this wellness program. There's like toxicity in a company. It's like a big deal. It's like becoming like a whole business to create a good vibe at your company. And one of them is actually like making chairs with a handle on the side. And so that when they sit, they can actually sit like normal because I can do it. But if you're morbidly obese, you can't sit in this chair. You would need actually an extra one. So this video that was interesting, it went viral. It was a funny person that is obese by my standard, not morbid, but it is enough to catch the attentions of everybody. And as I told you before, everybody says she's beautiful. She creates videos saying that she's beautiful and I'm beautiful. And even if I look like this, my inside, everything is freaking healthy. And I'm like, whoa, what the heck is happening? And then they interview her and she says, you know what? I have an issue when I go on vacation because I have to research the hotel to be able to go there because I have to bring my own towel. If I don't bring my own towel, I can't even shower like a normal person.
It closes. Kind of. So there she is.
And I can understand that. But the fact is now some weird reality change that, hey, normally we adapt to reality. And now suddenly we are so privileged that reality has to adapt to us. And the only reason you can say that is because everybody is paying taxes. And there comes a point I'm like, hey, now you want companies to buy all the chairs at your size? Because that is where it's going. It's like wellness. We need programs to make the job and the company and the hotel. You have to accommodate everybody. I'm like, wow, is that's like the new generational thing that we're gonna do right now? In COVID time, wasting money to make you feel comfortable because you have a need to enjoy food, while at the same time, in COVID time, you can actually die because you're eating like that. Do you see the discrepancies? I'm like, what do you want? You have to choose. So there are certain companies with this wellness application. They want to kind of normalize that every chair in a company, possibility, has to be able to hold like 450 pounds.
Sure. Will it house me? I'm not too sure. We're gonna find out.
That's like 225 kilogram. Do you really want to create a company where most people might be possible 225 kilogram? Dude, that's not even possible. You know Andre the Giant? Andre the Giant was 7 foot gangster person. How much did he weigh? 520 pounds. So you're gonna have an idea. The dude, I believe like 260 kilogram. That's a lot, ladies and gentlemen. But he's 7 foot. So if you're like most people, like 5 foot, something like that, the fact that you want to be able to normalize 225 kilogram, you can't do that. That's like a bunch of people that's gonna be always sick, always gonna have to go to the hospital, and honestly, if you catch COVID, you might pass away. There's so many issues. If you have a car accident when you have that weight, you're like, oh, I can cushion it up, right, in the car. What if the car crashes? You might even damage yourself internally a lot more, even with a seatbelt. We have an employee who is unable to perform some of his essential job requirements because of physical limitation due to his weight. Do we need to provide him with accommodation? Answer. Given that almost 1/3 of US population is considered obese, not a lot of weight, obese, and many employees are struggling with whether to provide accommodation for employees whose weight prohibits them from performing all of the job functions. Officially, by my stand, if you can perform the job, officially they should be able to fire, but that's fatphobic. Whether obesity falls under the American with Disability Act is a hotly debated issue. Employers must juggle the cost and resources of providing accommodation with the desire to create a comfortable environment for all employees and avoid discrimination claims. Yes, sometimes they don't even want to hire you because you don't even look good. But I think they should be able to not hire you if the job that you're going to do has something to do with protection or my safety. I mean, come on, man. You have to run to save me sometimes, right? But if you don't reach it, do you really think I'm going to be like, oh man, your lung is fatphobic? Generally, non-morbid obesity is not considered a disability under the ADA because it does not substantially limit an employee's major life activities, right? Although the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission views morbid obesity as a protected under the ADA, some courts have held that the morbid obesity alone in the absence of an underlying psychological condition is not protected under the ADA. By the way, somebody actually had to pay somebody $125 to settle for discrimination because they didn't want to buy a specific seat belt for a car that he was trying to manage. I'm like, dude, because officially you can be morbid obese 2 ways. You have a genetic condition that's so gangster that even if you don't eat like a morbid obese person, you just create a lot of fat. That I can understand. But a lot of people claim I have the same disease. I'm like, what? Just like COVID, it spread everywhere and we all have the same disease? I don't think that works even like that. That's kind of surprising, right? So if you eat a lot and you don't have a genetic thing, if you do something genetically and you try to gym and it doesn't work and the doctor can say, hey man, even if you train, it's always going to add up. Like one of the girls at my gym, she actually said, I can train as much as I want. It doesn't go away, but I have to do it because if I don't, I would be morbidly obese and stuck at my house. So she always has to go to the gym because if she stopped, the genes of her just gave her a disadvantage. But that doesn't mean that she gave up. That's the thing that I find a lot of people like always creating these weird rules. And I have the same disease. It's a medical thing. I'm like, are you sure? Because it seems that everybody that seems to be morbid obese, you guys have the same disease. which surprises me. I mean, my tax dollars are gonna save you with our global healthcare that we have, at least here in Spain, but it just surprises me that you all guys think alike. Even if this girl, I give her everything that, hey man, I love the fact that you make fun of yourself, you joke about it, just like I joke sometimes about my eye too, because I have only one eye. I find it just interesting how you can still blame the doctor that says whenever you have an ailment, you're like, you know what? You're misjudging me. I don't think doctors may judge you at all. They just want to save your life. There's actually some articles that people say that doctors treat overweight people worse because, but I understand it. You can lose the weight. You don't have to come here with the issue that you're having because it's like putting a bandage over a wound. I love a doctor that says, how did you get the wound? I don't want to bandage you over and over.
I'm literally built as an athlete. Every blood test I've ever done has said that I am like over the normal limit of athleticness.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, all I'm saying is do your own freaking research. The amount of people that pass away from literally overweight, it beats everything. It beats car accident. I'm not sure if it beats COVID, but it would not surprise me if it's close enough. You know what? Let's just find out that. As you can see in this page, the leading cause of death, the one that kills the most, is actually heart disease. Heart disease is usually caused by buildup of fatty deposit on the walls of arteries around the heart. The buildup of atheroma makes the arteries narrower, restricting the flow of blood to the heart muscle. This process is called atherosclerosis. Anyway, that's a joke.
This dude messages me, pause to read it. He basically is asking me if I want to do his fat burning workout to help with my back pain. And I very politely said, why did you message me? I wanted to give him a chance to redeem himself. But what he messaged back was 10 times worse. He told me that because I tagged joy and healthy on my most recent Instagram post, that's why he messaged me. That I needed a workout plan because I was healthy and joyful. So you know what I did? I went off on his ass.
The amount of people that are
Pause it to
getting
read it.
overweight during
And then I
COVID
blocked him.
is humongous. Especially with crappy food or too much sweetened food. You need to start eat something that you're not going to crave. Because the problem is, even if you're saying that you have it under control, you're not eating a lot because you like to eat. You're eating specific food that triggers the need to eat more. There's a reason why people ate back in the day like only ice cream and people start putting cookie and you're like, why are you trying to put cookie? Right? That doesn't make any sense. What they found out is if you mix specific food together, it triggers certain things in your body and it's like, wow, that's why you keep eating. So if you keep activating that, like this weird gangster dopamine effect in your stomach, it's always gonna happen. That's why it's important to eat the right food in the morning. If I don't eat any sugar in the morning, the feeling of my whole day totally changes. That's all I'm trying to say. So let me know what you guys think. If this morbid situation, if you could have to do something, do you have an issue? I mean, my wife does her best because she doesn't want to end up in that situation. And we both have an idea that we want to live as long as possible with our 2 sons. That is our whole idea, you know? I think it's important. And I also don't think that the whole world needs to adapt to people with a craving to eat a lot of food. That's your issue. You need to fix it. You need to help yourself until it's a chronic real disease. Don't invent stupid stuff for yourself because once it affects your health, it sucks. And a lot of people don't realize that until it's too late because you're so cocky about yourself. So many people are gonna compliment you even at home, on bed, not moving. You look beautiful and everything. But we all know it's a slow process that once you realize, hey man, maybe I've gone too far, maybe it's too late. Let me know what you guys think. Remember to like, share the video if I said something cool. And you know, well, see you guys next time. And remember to subscribe.
Don't get me wrong, ma cosa kita bong. Butta fire na mi blonde, kush hash, purple skunk, criollo, colombici, jam, jam, turloqueta, verdetta, welcome.